What is your morning focus routine? Or your daily focus routine at that? But in the morning, do you wake up and you're a little discombobulated and you don't know what you want to do today, or you don't know how you're going to do things, and you're not sure what? Well, maybe it's a lack of focus. Maybe it's a lack of clarity of knowing where you're trying to go and what you're trying to do. That'll definitely keep you lost in the woods, my friends. So, with that being said, what do you do in the morning? Well, let me tell you what I do in the morning. One, alarm clock goes off. I get up. I say, "Good morning, Jesus. Thank you for today." That's my routine. I like it. It connects me with God right out the gate. I go make my morning coffee. I go sit down and I start my prayer life. Now, my prayer life is very important to me in regards of being focused and having peace within. Because the peace comes from God. Because for sure, it doesn't come from me. Now, what this also does is my psychology is I'm focusing in on the things that I'm reading and praying about. And it has a lot of gratitude and thanksgiving in the prayers. It has a lot of connection with Jesus and everything that is a part of my faith. And so it's keeping me focused on my spiritual life. Now, once you really start focusing in on one subject at a time, let's call it, and for this right here is my spiritual life, it can be easily transferable to another part of your life, whether it be your personal with being a spouse or a parent, or whatever, but also your work life as well. And so, if you notice, like when you're focused in on something, okay, like the world does different things. It opens up things. It makes you realize some things. You have better thoughts at things. I mean, this is why focus is such important, and why I speak about it every day. And why I created this channel is because we're becoming definitely a society of lack of focus. And I'm seeing it with my kids. And they don't have a bunch of stuff that they play around with phones and all this kind of stuff. But I want them to focus. I want them to be able to look and see and study one thing and just harness it in. So, my morning routine on any given day is the same. My nightly routine is very similar too. It ends with prayer, same way it begins. But it also, before the prayer, there is a reviewing of the day, and then a preparation for the next day. Now, some days this doesn't last long. Some days it's much longer, but you really want to harness in on what you need to do tomorrow, and what have you done today. And really, it's reverse. What have you done today, and what you're going to do tomorrow, and just sit and think about that. And think, is this part of my goals? Is this part of what I need to be doing? Or is this like totally out of the wheelhouse of everything that I'm trying to accomplish and achieve? Because if you get to too many of those, then you're not focused at all, And a quick story: Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, when they met, Bill Gates' daddy made the arrangement. This is both whenever like Warren Buffett was the richest man and Bill Gates was well on his way. And but Bill Gates was in his like mid to late 30s, and Warren was probably 60-ish. And this was, I believe, in the early 90s. And so they get together for dinner. Bill Gates didn't want to go. But Bill Gates' dad asked a specific question. And the question, which I'm not going to get it totally accurate, but it was basically, what's one word that boils down to what's the one word that you would use to describe being successful and having both of them super successful at that point? What's the one word that they would use to describe that? They both said focus. Well, there's a reason for it. Focus will get you through the good and the bad, and I truly believe that. Focus will keep you going in the midst of everything around you needing a bunch of work. Focus will get you through things because you're following a life's path that is being created in front of you. And if you keep on looking to the left and to the right, you'll get off the path and be on a new path. But if you stay on your task, you will be on a path. And it's always easier to look backwards and say, well, man, all these things worked out because I stayed focused on going forward. But sometimes when you're in the midst of it, you don't know, is this going to work out? And you truly don't know if it's going to work out. There's a lot of things that have not worked out for me that I was focused in on wanting to work out. But what it did was it gave me some very good skills and knowledge that helped me be a better business person and a better communicator and all these things. And so, long story short, yeah, me focusing in on, even though I have a tremendous amount of failure underneath my belt, I'm still able to operate the way that I am because I've learned all kind of different skills that has continued to carry me forward. And it's because I continue to focus and focus and focus. And man, I got big dreams, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. And I try to harness in on those big dreams. I try to push my way through those big dreams, and I fail all the time. But I continue to rehash them and relook. And I would say today, even though I have unsurmountable adversities, it seems like, that's against me, I am in the direction of where I have been plotting my course for years. And now I have the capabilities and skills to get these things done, and I don't need an army to do it. And so, excuse me, I got a little sinus infection. That's why I'm talking and sniffing and all that kind of stuff. I have the skill set now, or well on my way of what I had before, because it's been very difficult to learn and branch out and understand all the things that need to be done. But when you follow that morning routine, nightly routine, then what it ends up is, I was at my office today, I got there, and man, I just spent hours and hours and hours in front of the computer, knocking out the task that needed to be done. And I have the skill set and the technology and everything that goes with it. I have the ability to do it. It just takes me sitting in front of the computer for hours and hours and hours and knocking it out one by one. And so, yeah, it was a beautiful day outside today. If you can tell, it's nice and pretty. Little bit on the warm side in the sun, nice in the cool side. I'll be at a softball game tonight, but steady Eddie plotting a course of exactly what I need to do, and not worried about the other things that's going on around me, just knocking out the checklist and taking as much action as I can, all the way to me shooting this video that has been on my agenda of shooting daily videos. And if you notice, I do shoot a bunch of videos. So, those videos require a little bit of thought and effort before shooting of what I'm going to discuss. But the whole main topic of everything that I've been discussing has been focus on the one idea, and then build your life around it. And if it's God's will, like I totally believe that when I ask God what you want me to do, He allows me to do these things. He allows me to fail. He allows me to come into adversity just to continue to trust and love Him, because He's a friend. He's a father. He's a friend. And yeah, it's okay to let people get into messes to learn how to harness in and stay focused to get out. And you become a better person that way. You become a stronger character that way. And I truly believe that as I continue to overcome the adversities in my life, and if I continue to stay focused and minimize the disruption and minimize the emotional side of it that it can get to, then I'm taking the proper steps forward in order to succeed at what I am trying to do. And so, long story short, morning routine, you start off focusing. A prayer life would be excellent, but let's say you want to turn to working out. I know a lot of people that do that. You're focused in on just doing that one thing. And then you'll move on to the next thing that you focus in on, which is whatever's next. And then the next thing. And that way, whenever you are full of priorities and stuff like that, you will be able to knock them out one at a time and be clear-minded to do it, whether it takes 1 minute, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 hour. And I'll show you in a couple other videos when do I do the long stuff and when do I do the short. When I say long task, when I do the short task. But at the end of the day, I've learned how to focus in on these tasks because I start off in the morning focused on God, focused on my spiritual life, and then it goes one thing after another, focusing on what you're doing, being present of mind in what you're doing. And so that's my 2 cents for today, and I will talk to you guys later.